All right, what's up, everyone? I got a really cool video coming after this, but I'm deciding to do my massive Amazon video game pickup video right now. These are all the games I got for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS. 98% of them are sealed, and these are the games I picked up. And the only reason is I canceled the other one. Supposedly it was supposed to get delivered by the 28th of December, even though I ordered this thing towards the end of November, and it still hasn't shipped yet. So I'm canceled that. I attempted to. I don't know if it's gone through or not. If it does come in after I do this video, then it is what it is. I'll save it for another video game pickup video. But without further ado, let's go right on into this. First up, these are interesting. Again, one of the things I collect, aside from all the games that I tried to get as a kid, which I think I'm done with all that, actually. Now I collect, again, these are the rules for my collecting. So every Disney game that ever came out on any console, with the exception of, for example, if it's the exact same game on the same generation of consoles, like if it came out for the PS2, I would not get it for the Xbox or the GameCube. If it came out for the PS3, I would not get it for the Wii or for the Xbox 360. The only difference to that is handhelds, like a Nintendo DS graphically was better than the Game Boy Advance, so I have to then get both. In the Super Nintendo Sega Genesis days, a couple of games, like for example Aladdin, was a completely different game for the Genesis than it was for the Super Nintendo, so therefore I would have to get both of those. But if it's the exact same game, there's no reason to get both, or every one of them, so that goes for not only Disney games, but it also goes for games based on movies, as well as games based on TV shows, or TV shows based on games, whatever the case may be, stuff of that nature. Now, the other stuff that I also collect are any puzzle game, any board game that I played as a kid, like chess or checkers, any casino game at all, as well as any volumes or anthologies or collections. So, for example, some of my other videos, you might see me have the Resident Evil Essentials for the PS2, and that came with 3 games in one bundle. So I'll collect that, but I don't necessarily have to collect any of the other Resident Evil games because I never played them as a kid. Even though I did briefly, I briefly played number 1, but I really didn't get into the series. I'm not good at those types of games. Also, double packs, like if 2 games came in one on one cartridge, I then have to collect. And you'll see examples of those as we go through. So, here we have sealed. It's Game Boy Advance video. Watch full color video on Game Boy Advance. Dragon Ball GT Volume 1 from Majesco. Includes 2 episodes, A Grand Problem and Pan's Gambit. And there's a big ass sticker on the back. Awesome. So there's that. I'm pissed about that. Alright. Then, sealed, smushed, as you can see, but sealed. We have Watch Full Color Video on Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Video Nick the Fairly Odd Parents Volume 2. Includes 4 episodes, Father Time, A Partnership, Ruled Out, and That's Life. Only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems, not recommended for use on the Game Boy Player. So now you can watch the wacky world of the Fairly Odd Parents on your Game Boy Advance. Bring 4 of the very best episodes with you anywhere you go. In Father Time, when Timmy is punished for breaking Dad's grade school trophy, he travels back in time to stop Dad from winning it. But Timmy's tampering dramatically changes the present world, so it's up to Cosmo and Wanda to help him fix his mistakes. In the episode A Partnership, Timmy inadvertently causes a fight between Cosmo and Wanda, and Cosmo moves back home. When Cosmo's mom tries to break the godparents up, Timmy must rush to the rescue. In the episode Ruled Out, Timmy's tired of his parents' strict rules and wishes for parents that cared less, but when Mom and Dad stop following the rules and his new fairy godparents make things difficult, Timmy finds out why being responsible is important. And in the episode That's Life, to help his mom win the Dimsdale Veg-Off, Timmy wishes her garden full of life. What he doesn't know is his dearly departed pet gerbil Eddie is buried in the garden. The running time is 44 minutes. You can go to nick.com and www.gba-video.com. So again, sealed copy, Nick the Fairly Odd Parents Volume 2 from Nickelodeon, obviously, Nick. Now, next up, a sealed copy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi vs. Joey Volume 1. Watch full color video on Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance Video. Includes 2 episodes, Friends Till the End Part 3 and Friends Till the End Part 4. from Majesco, only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems or the Game Boy Player accessory. Watch all the monsters and all the duels on your Game Boy Advance anywhere you go. So, in the episode Friends Till the End Part 3, episode number 177, Yugi starts to break Marik's spell over Joey, but he must now duel without the Millennium Puzzle. When Joey draws a card, he needs to decimate Yugi's life points. What chance does Yugi have, especially on his own? In Friends Till the End Part 4, the conclusion, episode 178, there's only 1 minute left in the duel before the loser is sent plummeting to the depths of the seal. Will these best friends actually send each other to their doom? However, there may be a special savior who just regained her eyesight. So running time is approximately 44 minutes. Again, you can go to www.gba-video.com. So again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi vs. Joey. Next up, also sealed and also smushed, we have Nickelodeon All Grown Up Volume 1 from Majesco. You can watch full-color video on Game Boy Advance. Volume 1 includes 2 episodes, Coupe de Ville and Susie Sings the Blues. Only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems or the Game Boy Player accessory. So, now you can watch the adventures of your favorite all-grown-up preteens on your Game Boy Advance. Bring 2 of the very best episodes with you anywhere you go. In the episode Susie Sings the Blues, when a talent agent approaches Susie after hearing her sing, Susie sees bright lights in her future. But when her parents insist that she concentrate on school, Susie takes matters into her own hands to follow her dreams. And in the episode Coupe de Ville, Lil asserts her independence by moving out of the bedroom she shared with Phil since they were babies. But when she's invited to a cool kids party without her brother, all of a sudden changes leave Phil a very lonely sibling. Again, you can go to nick.com or www.gba-video.com. So again, sealed copy of Nickelodeon All Grown Up Volume 1. Next up, also sealed and once again smushed, we have Nick Jr. Dora the Explorer Volume 1. It includes 2 episodes, Big River and 3 Little Piggies. You can watch full-color video on the Game Boy Advance. Only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems or the Game Boy Player accessory. Your adventures with Dora the Explorer are just beginning on your Game Boy Advance. Now you can bring 2 of the very best episodes with you anywhere you go. In the episode Big River, Dora never goes anywhere without her backpack, and Boots never goes anywhere without his beloved red boots. But in this wild water adventure, Boots loses a boot in the Big River, and it will take Dora, backpack, and the preschoolers to help get it back. In the episode 3 Little Piggies have escaped from their pen. Help Dora and Boots find the piggies before Swiper the Fox swipes their blue ribbons. Play to Learn with Nick Jr. Nick Jr.'s Play to Learn philosophy has revolutionized the way kids watch TV. Our shows encourage kids to think, explore, problem solve, master cognitive skills, and develop self-esteem, all through play. The care, commitment, and quality that we put into Nick Jr. programming also goes into our products, so when your kids play along with Nick Jr., they're playing to learn. Again, you can go to nickjr.com and www.gba-video.com. This is running time of 44 minutes. A smushed, sealed copy of Dora the Explorer Volume 1. Next, on the Game Boy Advance video, this is probably real good condition. Sealed copy of Game Boy Advance K&D Codename Kids Next Door Volume 1, Operation Report, Operation No Power, Operation Brief, and Operation Dogfight. Watch full color video on Game Boy Advance. Only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems or the Game Boy Player accessory. Now you can watch the covert missions of the Kids Next Door on your Game Boy Advance. Bring 4 of the very best episodes with you anywhere you go. In Operation Report, after every K&D mission, reports must be filed. There are many different ways to tell a story, and each operative tries to excuse the failure by making a seed his or her way. In Operation No Power, thousands of hamsters supply the Kids Next Door treehouse with power. When they all go on vacation, the K&D are left vulnerable to attack. In Operation Brief, Number 1 is running around screaming with his tighty-whities on his head while K&D Global Command is trying to brief numbers 2 through 5 on an important mission. Has Number 1 finally cracked, or could his underwear really be killing him? And in Operation Dogfight, Number 2's pride is damaged and his aircraft destroyed when a mysterious pilot called the Kid takes to the skies. But is this hot-dogging newcomer really the greatest threat to the suburban skies? Running time is 44 minutes. You can go to cartoonnetwork.com and www.gba-video.com. Sealed copy of K&D Codename The Kids Next Door. I think I have this, and I'll be pissed if I do because it means I rebought it. I don't know why. And then lastly, for this series, we have Game Boy Advance, Nick, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Volume 1 includes 4 episodes, Brobot, The Big Pinch, Granny Baby, and Time is Money. Again, all of these are from Majesco. Game Boy Advance video only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems or the Game Boy Player accessory. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron are just beginning on your Game Boy Advance. Now you can bring forward the very best episodes with you anywhere you go. In Brobot, Jimmy constructs Brobot, the perfect little brother he never had. But trouble brews when Brobot becomes very annoying and more popular than Jimmy. The Big Pinch, to settle a classroom argument about who invented radio, Jimmy brings Thomas Edison to the present using his time pincher. But the future is threatened when Edison refuses to return to the past. In the episode Granny Baby, Jimmy's granny comes to stay while his parents are on their third honeymoon. Jimmy, concerned by her ailing health, gives her his new youth tonic, but Granny ends up as a talking baby. And in the episode Time is Money, Jimmy time travels 15 years into the past when his parents were swinging sweethearts. Jimmy's investment tip changes the future, but with unintended consequences. So again, you can go to gba-video.com, nick.com. The running time is 44 minutes, and we have a sealed copy of The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius Volume 1. So those are the Game Boy Advance videos I got. Let's go right into the DS games. I got 3 of these. And first up, we have Battleship sealed from Activision, and there's a bonus inside, movie cash up to $10 value, and that expired 6/17/12. So, your fleet, your fight, our fate. Take command of a U.S. naval fleet to wage war against an unknown alien force. Secure the seas before it's too late. Here it shows you can play in duel mode to fire on your enemies, defend and protect your battleships, and call on your fleet. You can go to Activision.com. Again, sealed copy of Battleship for the DS. Next up for the DS, we have a sealed copy of Marvel Superhero Squad The Infinity Gauntlet from THQ, which I've actually already gone over because I did it in another video, the previous video. So I bought that twice like an idiot. And next up, the last game sealed, we have Sesame Street Ready Set Grover with Elmo, the video game. You can play in English or Spanish. It's from WB Games. It includes the character stylus, helping little hands grip and play. So, go on a healthy habits adventure with your Sesame Street friends. Join Grover, Elmo, and Abby Cadabby on an exciting obstacle course that encourages healthy habits through fun, active gameplay. So you got that. Give me one moment, I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. Now for the Game Boy Advance games. Here we go. First up, we have a sealed copy of Pocket Professor, Quick Notes, Volume 1. From I don't know who made this. It's only for Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. So, it is great for test preparation. You get quizzes, finals, ACT and SAT preparation, military entrance exams. Basically, this becomes the ultimate set of flashcards assisting students in evaluating their own knowledge level in several core subject areas. Homeschooling or medical absences, adult education and GED preparation, aid to those preparing to re-enter school or the job market. Yeah, I guess Pocket Direct made this game. Basic reading ability is needed to fully enjoy the game. So this is a sealed copy of Pocket Professor Quick Notes, Volume 1. Throw that here. Next up, sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we have Mission Impossible Operation Surma from Atari. It's only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. You can choose from a wide variety of IMF gadgets and weapons, apply a diverse array of stealth tactics, and use the shadows to infiltrate. Gameplay in the Game Boy Advance video game system, www.mi-game.com. Again, Game Boy Advance. Sealed copy. Next up, we have, for the Game Boy Advance, 2 games in 1 double pack. We have Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed from THQ. Only for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. So, in Scooby-Doo, Zoinks Mystery Incorporated is on Spooky Island. Now it's up to you to help Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Fred, and Daphne solve the mysteries of Spooky Island. Can you put the clues together to solve the big mystery of this demon-haunted island? Here, help Shaggy gather clues, and here, help Fred avoid spooky monsters. On this side, we have Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Reich's Mystery Incorporated is back in an all-new movie caper. Someone has brought the costumes of Scooby's greatest villains to life, and now they're threatening all of Coolsville. Here, battle fearsome fiends like the Black Knight Ghost, and maneuver the Mystery Machine or your pterodactyl bait. You can go to thq.com. So again, sealed copy, 2 games in 1 double pack of Scooby-Doo. Next up, a sealed copy of Tom and Jerry Tales, all new on WB Kids. It's only for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Avoid sneaky traps, zoom through obstacles, and create endless confusion to wreak havoc on the house and your cat nemesis in the all-new Tom and Jerry Tales video game. dodge traps to avoid being captured, cause chaos throughout the entire house, even in your mouse hole, and mini games keep the cat and mouse fun going. You can go to TomandJerryTalesGame.com. It's a sealed copy of Tom and Jerry Tales. Next up for the Game Boy Advance, we have a sealed copy of X-Men 3, the official game from Activision. It's only for the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro, and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. It's a GBA exclusive. You can play as Colossus. Master the power of the X-Men. Become Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Iceman, or Colossus and unleash their skills as you battle through events leading up to the feature film X-Men The Last Stand. Here you can crush enemies with the strength of Colossus, combat Pyro, Sabretooth, and exclusive foes like X-23, instantly switch to play a different character anytime, and interact with Professor Xavier and fellow X-Men. You can go to Marvel.com and Activision.com. X-Men 3, the official game. Next up, sealed copy of Snood 2 on Vacation from DSi Games. Only for Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems, and also for the Nintendo DS. Multiplayer games require one game pack per player and a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. Snood 2 on Vacation. Welcome back to Snood with a brand new style and super exciting gameplay. Same old friends with new twists that are great fun for the whole family. Snood Turned Sideways provides a new challenge to this classic puzzle game. In Snood Grab, use a grappling hook to pull a Snood back to Snood Central and launch it again to match up with two others in the strategic mode of play. Test your skills with Snood Ball. Watch out, since there's no straight sides to bounce off. Just when you think you have the game beat, your sphere of Snoods increases. Again, sealed copy of Snood 2 on Vacation. Next up, we have a sealed copy of Fantastic Four from Activision. Only for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Harness the power of four. One spectacular accident changes four humans into the world's most unique team of superheroes. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and The Thing. Here, master an arsenal of superpowers. Here, relive the movie action and more. Battle Doctor Doom and other classic Marvel villains. And fight as a team through destructible environments. You can go to Activision.com. A sealed copy of Fantastic Four for the DS. Next for the DS, we have a sealed copy of Spider-Man 2-in-1 Game Pack. You get Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 from Activision. It's only for the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. And twice the fun. So in Spider-Man 1, relive the movie and more. Unleash cool combat moves against Spider-Man's toughest villains. In Spider-Man 2, take New York for a spin, battle Doc Ock and others in huge 3D environments. Again, you can go to Activision.com. We have a sealed copy of 2-in-1 Game Pack Spider-Man for the DS. Next up, sealed for the DS, we have a 2-in-1 game pack Shark Tale and Shrek 2 from Activision. So, only for the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. Twice the fun. Shark Tale, Little Fish, Big Fun, Fight the Great White, Race and Dance and cool mini-games. And in Shrek 2, the adventure continues with all new characters, locations, and bonus games. Again, you go to Activision.com, 2-in-1 game pack Shark Tale and Shrek 2 sealed. Next up, sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we have Ultimate Card Games. You get Hearts, Spades, Canasta, Cribbage, I don't know how to pronounce that, Ushir, Gin, Rummy, Go Fish, Crazy Eights, Bridge, Poker, Blackjack, 15 solitaire games, 5 video poker versions, and 3D Face Creator. You can link it up, 1 game pack, 4 players, see back panel for details. This is from Telegames. It's only for the Game Boy Advance and GBA link cable, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Welcome to the most comprehensive and feature-rich compilation of classic and card games ever available for portable gaming. Now you can enjoy Hearts, Spades, Bridge, I don't know what that is, Ushuri, Cribbage, Canasta, Gin Rummy, Go Fish, Crazy Eights, Poker, Blackjack, 15 solitaire games, and 5 video poker versions while on the go. Challenging AI creates formidable computer opponents in one-player mode so you can play against your friends. Some of the other outstanding features include up to 4-player link gameplay with only 1 game pack. Game Copy feature allows you to share your games with others by downloading them to their Game Boy Advance systems for independent play without any need for a game pack. Choose different card decks and backgrounds. Almost 1 hour of in-game music, just like a music CD. Edit the playlist to only hear what you want. Demo modes are included for most games. On-screen rules, scoring, and how to play instructions. Create your own character and face with the included Face Creator program, now in 3D. PC-style menus allow easy and intuitive configuration of all options. Save the game status, player statistics, and other options for later. Telegames.com, you can gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. So, there's that. Next up, sealed copy of Games Explosion from THQ. only for the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro, Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. More games, more challenges, and more fun for everyone with Games Explosion. Rack your brain, test your reflexes, and jump into non-stop action with 16 entertaining games. Whether you're in the car, waiting for the bus, or just taking a break, there's a game for everyone in the family. Get ready for hours of entertainment with these dynamite games. Card and board. You got Sudoku, Tic-Tac-Toe, Checkers, and Blackjack. For the puzzle, you got Pipe Master, Ice Jumper, Music Pop, and Eliminate. For arcade, you have Space Shooter and Avoider, and for club games, you have Bowling and Darts. 16 dynamite games. From THQ, we have Games Explosion. Sealed. Next up for the Game Boy Advance. This is not sealed, but there is a seal on the bottom and the top. Tron 2.0 Killer App, featuring discs of Tron and Tron Classic arcade games from Buena Vista Interactive. This is a heavy package, by the way. Only for the Game Boy Advance, GBA link cable, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Upgrade the action. Take on the role of digital warriors Tron and Mercury as you battle against the Corruptor, an evil computer program attempting to create the ultimate virus and take over the system. Featuring the voice of Rebecca Romajan-Stamos as Mercury and Bruce Boxleitner as Tron. Multiplayer games require one game pack per player and a Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. Awesome multiplayer battles, and GameSpy.com said, great look, cool mini games, combat is fun. New light cycle designed by Sid Mead. You can go to TronKillerApp.com. Again, Tron 2.0 Killer App for the Game Boy Advance. Next up, for the Game Boy Advance, this is also not sealed, but it is sealed on the top and bottoms. We have the Incredible Hulk, exclusive Hulk comic strip inside from Universal Interactive, only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. A GBA link cable, multiplayer games require a new Game Boy Advance Game Link cable sold separately. Prepare for the most furious game ever to hit the Game Boy Advance. You are Dr. Bruce Banner, a government scientist transformed into the Hulk after a nuclear test gone wrong. Rage through more than 30 levels of intense action, crushing everything and everyone in your way, and when you are done destroying your enemies, link up with your friends and battle it out in a multiplayer Hulk match. Gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Multiplayer action. Here we go. We got the Incredible Hulk for the Game Boy Advance. Next up, for the Game Boy Advance sealed, we have Wolverine's Revenge from Activision. Only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems, and it's only in theaters. Prepare to meet your makers. As Wolverine, you've just discovered that a secondary Weapon X facility exists. While searching there for clues to your mysterious past, you learn that an evil mutant has stolen technology to develop a new breed of super soldiers. Little does he know he'll have to answer to you, the X-Men's most dangerous weapon. Here you can use lethal combo attacks and rely on your mutant healing factor in intense action and stealth scenarios, climb walls and ceilings with your claws and use your super senses to sneak into enemy territory, face off against classic enemies including Pyro, Sabretooth, Omega Red, and Magneto. You go to Activision.com and gameplay on the Game Boy Advance video game system. Sealed copy of Wolverine's Revenge from Activision. Also sealed for the Game Boy Advance, we have Catwoman from EA Games. Only for the Game Boy Advance, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. So, combine fluid kicks and flips to unleash Catwoman's explosive fighting style. Hold Catwoman in the palm of your hand. Stalk from the shadows and whip into action to conquer your enemies and dominate your surroundings. Feline domination. Sealed copy of Catwoman. And lastly, sealed and also crunched, we have Superman Returns, Fortress of Solitude from EA, sealed. Only for the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Micro and Nintendo DS, not compatible with other Game Boy systems. Use your superpowers to solve mind-bending puzzles and defeat villains. Master your superpowers to solve exciting Sudoku-style puzzles. Defeat legendary villains including Parasite, Metallo, Mr. Mizpicked, and others in epic battles. Unlock hidden content by solving Superman Returns movie puzzles inspired by the blockbuster film and 60-plus years of DC comic book history. So apparently it's a Sudoku deal. Game Boy Advance Superman Returns sealed. So those are the games I picked up from Amazon. There was one other, it was a dual pack I still do not have, and like I told you earlier in the video that I have canceled that as well. But anyway, stay tuned for a really cool video. I didn't want to say last summer or so. It was for the N64, but I have a really good, really cool video to show you guys, an unboxing, if you will. So stay tuned, and I'll have a secret password in that video, somewhere in that video. You guys watch the video and see the secret password, and email me. Then I'll give you guys a prize, and I'll do it in that video. I'll tell you how to do it. So thanks for watching, guys.